Like famed NBA trainer Chris Brickley has broken his silence about Caitlin Clark.
Okay, so the Indiana Fever just did something that has everyone scratching their heads. Chris Brickley, who's like the top trainer in basketball. I mean, this guy has worked with LeBron James and Kevin Durant. He wants to help Caitlin Clark get healthy for the 20. That sounds amazing, right? But here's the thing. The Fever's front office is putting up all these roadblocks. It makes you wonder if they actually want Caitlin to reach her full potential or if there's something else happening behind the scenes. Before we dive deeper, what do you even think about this? Are the Fever really looking out for Caitlin's best interest here?
Of that specific team.
Yeah,
So
yeah. You just called it.
Sometimes
some teams are like, no,
they've got
you need to be with me a year for the first 3 years. This is happening with me and Caitlin Clark. So Caitlin Clark finished her rookie season. We've been talking for a few years, and
You worked with Caitlin Clark?
so we were going to work last summer, but I was gonna have to go to Indianapolis, and I respect it. Like when you're young on your team,
Listen, Chris Brickley finally spoke up about wanting to work with Caitlin Clark for her recovery before the 2026 season. And honestly, this whole thing should have been a total no-brainer. But somehow, the Fever just found a way to make it complicated. Brickley isn't some random guy trying to get clicks. This man has trained NBA champions, absolute superstars. Basically, anyone who's serious about elevating their game. When someone with that kind of resume wants to work with your franchise player, you say yes, right? You don't create roadblocks. And get this, he's worked with LeBron, Kevin Durant, a crazy long list of champions. He's not just doing workouts for Instagram clout. He's the real deal. His results speak for themselves. Players work with him because he actually delivers, not for the social media posts. So, when he publicly says he's been trying to work with Caitlin for years, that's a massive deal.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping now this offseason.
What's crazy is Brickley actually went on a podcast and spilled that he and Caitlin have been in touch for years. They were even supposed to work together last summer. But the catch was he'd have to go to Indianapolis. Now, he totally gets that young players usually train at their team facilities, and that makes sense. But here's what doesn't make any sense. Why is the Fever making it so incredibly difficult for their star player to work with one of the best trainers in basketball? Brickley even said he's hoping she'll come to New York this off-season so they can finally get some real work in. He called her an amazing talent, someone who's completely changed the game in women's sports. That's huge praise from someone who's seen the very best. But apparently the Fever's front office has completely different plans for Caitlin's off-season. On top of that, let's just remember what Caitlin went through in the 2025 season. Injuries kept piling up. The medical staff looked super questionable, and there were serious doubts about how her health was being managed. She needed to handle physicality better, and their big solution was to add muscle. Yeah, that didn't go so well. In fact, a lot of people think that extra muscle actually caused more injuries throughout the season.
And that she'll come to New York and we'll get some work. And she's the reason why the WNBA has become so big. I would love to work with her.
Yeah.
She's an amazing talent.
She's
changed the game.
She has absolutely changed women's sports.
For sure.
Just
and I love
generally
competitiveness too.
Oh man, I know. She's that's the other piece too, that like it's okay for women to be competitive.
So, this is exactly why bringing in someone like Chris Brickley makes so much sense for Caitlin. He could help her build a system to handle all that physicality without just wrecking her body. He could teach her how to escape those tough traps when defenders are swarming. He'd work on her shooting off the dribble, help her adjust to all kinds of different defensive schemes. Honestly, these are the things Caitlin absolutely needs if she wants to keep dominating at this professional level. But here's the thing that's really getting under my skin about all of this. The Fever just seems way more worried about controlling where and how Caitlin trains than they are about actually helping her get better. They want her at their practice facility in Indianapolis. They want her working with their staff. And yeah, sure, there's something to be said for team cohesion and using team resources. But when you've got a generational talent like Caitlin on your roster, you literally do whatever it takes to help them hit their absolute ceiling.
Trainer Chris Brickley. Brickley has trained worked with at least some of the most famous names in the game. LeBron James, Kevin Durant. I mean, there is a list that goes on and on. He's sort of a celebrity trainer, if you will, in a sense, but you don't get to that status if you don't have the credibility.
This is what I like to hear. I'm all in on this move. I've been saying I want to see Caitlin Clark train with some new higher level elite training. I want her to get the hell away from Indiana as far as training. I don't want her practicing with Stephanie White. I don't want her working with the Indiana Fever training staff, even though they're getting a new senior advisor and all that. I don't want none of that. I think there's a few things that Caitlin, if she add these few things to her bag, she's definitely unstoppable. Chris Brickley, legendary NBA trainer, working with the likes of Carmelo Anthony. When y'all saw Carmelo Anthony lose all that weight and get in shape, Hoodie Melo, he worked with Carmelo Anthony, Jimmy Butler, Donovan Mitchell, Trae Young, LeBron James.
Look, think about it this way. If your car breaks down and the best mechanic in the entire country offers to fix it for free, you don't say no just because you'd rather use the guy down the street. That would be insane. But that's basically what the Fever is doing right now. They're turning down world-class help all because it doesn't fit some organizational structure or whatever bureaucratic nonsense they're stressing about. And get this, Brickley has been totally respectful through the whole process. He understood that when Caitlin was first starting, she needed to work at the team's facility. He didn't make a big deal. He waited patiently. Now that she's established, now that she's clearly the face of the league, he's saying he'd love to work with her in New York. That seems totally reasonable, right? But the Fever still isn't making it easy. You have to wonder what they're so worried about. Are they scared it'll make their own staff look bad? Are they worried about losing control over their franchise player? Or is there something else going on that we just don't know about? Whatever the reason, it's not a good look when your organization blocks your star player from working with elite trainers. Plus, this isn't just about getting stronger. Caitlin needs better ways to handle physical defense without constantly getting beaten up. She needs to create space when defenders are right on her and finish through contact without always relying on the ref's whistle. These are advanced skills and they need specialized training from someone who's worked with the best players in the world. Chris Brickley has that experience. He's seen what works and what doesn't. He knows how to take existing skills and refine them until a player is unstoppable. That's exactly what Caitlin needs to get to the next level. And the timing of this whole situation feels pretty suspicious too, right? When Caitlin could benefit the most from an elite off-season trainer, the Fever is putting up roadblock. It almost feels like they're more concerned with protecting their own ego than actually helping their players succeed. That's a dangerous mindset for any team. Here's another thing. Caitlin Clark is the reason the WNBA has exploded. Brickley even said it. She's changed the game, brought millions of new fans. She's the face of the league, period. So, when you have that kind of player, you do everything possible to support them. You don't create unnecessary obstacles. The Fever should be rolling out the red carpet for anyone of Brickley's caliber, but instead they're making it difficult, insisting things are done their way. That's just backwards thinking. Now, some people might argue the Fever wants her with their staff because they know her body. Fair point. But here's the counter. Their medical staff and training led to a season full of injuries. So, maybe it's time to try something different, right? Maybe an outside perspective would actually help. What's more, Caitlin needs some independence. She's a professional athlete, not a teenager who needs micromanagement. She should have the freedom to pick trainers who she thinks will help her most. The Fever acting like overprotective parents isn't helping anyone. It's even more ridiculous because other players work with outside trainers all the time. NBA guys have specialized coaches outside of team facilities. No one bats an eye. But for Caitlin, the Fever thinks she needs to do everything under their watch. That's just weird and controlling. The fact that Brickley is still interested after all this time says a lot about his respect for her game. He's selective, his time is valuable, and he's seen something special in her he wants to develop. And think about it from Caitlin's side. One of the best trainers in basketball publicly says he wants to work with her and her own organization makes it hard. That has to be frustrating. She's too professional to complain, but she knows what opportunity she's missing because the Fever can't get out of its own way. The thing is, the Fever's current approach just isn't working. Injuries, question medical staff, criticize training. So why are they so resistant to trying something new? Pride, stubbornness, whatever it is, it's not helping Caitlin or the team. At some point, the Fever needs to realize that a healthier, more skilled Caitlin means more wins, more fans, more money. It's that simple. But they're stuck in this control mindset, and it's going to backfire if they're not careful. Chris Brickley working with Caitlin in New York during the off-season should be a non-issue. She goes, works with an elite trainer, comes back better. Everyone but the Fever is turning this into a mess. Bottom line, the Indiana Fever needs to get out of its own way and let Caitlin work with whoever she wants. If it's Brickley, great. If it's someone else,